Before we get into the big stories, let's catch up on a few other things going on in the world. First up, the e-cigarette company Juul has agreed to pay a settlement of nearly $500 million for marketing their product to teenagers. And obviously this is really bad for the company. Yeah, $500 million. The whole business has just gone up in strawberry-flavored smoke. This is great news for teenagers because now they have $500 million, which they can spend on more Juuls. Yeah! Meanwhile, in education news, New York City has announced that students will no longer get snow days and will instead attend classes on Zoom. Yes, this is a thing. No snow days, only Zoom. Yeah. I mean, luckily this isn't too big of a deal. I know it's sad. But you realize, thanks to climate change, New York's getting snow for what, 2 years max now? Yeah, by 2026, this is basically going to be Florida with better bagels. That's all it's going to be. But I do feel bad for these kids, you know, missing out on such a big part of childhood. I mean, like when I was growing up, there was nothing I loved more than waking up and checking the TV for school closings, and then, you know, and I'd be like, oh, and then I'd remember that I grew up in Africa, you idiots. It doesn't snow there. Think I give a shit about you losing snow days? Get the hell out of here, you dumb kids. Oh, in sports news, the U.S. Soccer Federation has announced that the women's national team will now get paid the same amount of money as the men. Yeah, that's right. That is right. Female soccer players have finally achieved their goal. But you see, ladies, all you have to do is be literally the best in the world at something. And someday, you too will get paid the same amount as men who are mediocre at the same job. It is inspiring is what it is. It is inspiring. All right, but let's move on to some of the biggest stories of the day, starting with the war in Ukraine. And yes, it is still going on, even though you put that flag in your profile photo. I know, I thought it would work too. As the war drags on, the fallout is being felt around the world. Europe is facing skyrocketing energy prices. Africa is still suffering from grain shortages. And America has been forced to part with some of its most beloved missiles. But now, everyone is worried that the next fallout from the war could be nuclear.
This morning, there are fears the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in southern Ukraine is accelerating towards a potential disaster. A report just released by a team of UN watchdog inspectors found 7 pillars of nuclear safety have been significantly compromised.
Inspectors who visited the plant say its security is being undermined by constant shelling and Russian military equipment on the site.
New images of damage caused by shelling at that nuclear power plant near Zaporizhzhia. Overnight, the UN's nuclear watchdog urging Russia and Ukraine to immediately cease all military operations in that area and establish a nuclear safety and security protection zone around the plant.
We are playing with fire, and something very, very catastrophic could take place.
I don't want to be that guy, but I think this is a lot worse than playing with fire, okay? This is a nuclear apocalypse. I wish we were playing with fire. He's like, we're playing with fire. This guy needs to, like, up his analogy game. We're talking about the end of human life, and he's like, we're cruising for a bruising here. But yeah, the UN is urging Ukraine and Russia to stop fighting around Europe's largest nuclear power plant. And at this point, like, what is the UN even for, huh? Because even I can urge Ukraine and Russia to not fight around a nuclear power plant. The UN should be able to make them stop. What does the UN do? Please stop. You know what the UN is? The UN is basically turned into those parents who have no control over their kids. Just like, Aiden, don't kick your brother, okay? Okay, well, don't kick him near the coffee table, all right? Kick him over there. And also, this is yet another sign that Vladimir Putin has lost it. Because if a nuclear power plant blows up in Ukraine, that's next door to Russia. You're also screwed. I mean, unless this is what Putin wants. Or maybe he wants a nuclear disaster so that he can roll around in a radioactive cloud and turn himself into a mutant, you know? Yeah, just be like, I have new superpower. I am first Russian with ability to smile.